Hey, welcome to Talking Texas Politics with Calvin. Drove out to Tyler this morning. Got here a few minutes early, so was going to chat with everyone real quick about the week in the Texas legislature. Unfortunately, I was traveling this week and was unable to make it to Austin to witness the events, and so but my phone started blowing up on Thursday afternoon. And unfortunately, I was unable to respond to anybody because I was working and was busy, but got caught up on what was going on. So essentially, what we had was we had the House rules, which is House Resolution 4. It's something they do every session, and usually they do it, if not immediately after they swear in the new speaker, they do it the next day, or they do it really quick. So there's been quite a bit of time. I mean, we're at the end of January now, and so them to do it this late's a little unusual. So I had anticipated that they had something up their sleeve, and ultimately they did. And so what ended up happening was the a number of the grassroots representatives came up with amendments to House Resolution 4, and these amendments would have kind of recalibrated the House. And everybody always talks about the Dem chairs. The Dem chairs is a portion of this, but there's other reforms that need to take place, and that was the reason everybody was supporting, at least everybody in the grassroots was supporting Dave Cook. It was for this reform package. And so they had attempted to at least have some dialogue. Hey, let's sit down and let's talk about this. When you submit an amendment, it gets discussed and people get to ask you questions, and there's actually dialogue that goes on, and then you vote on the amendment. And so, however, there is a nuclear option that is very rarely used, and essentially if you get 25 representatives to sign on to this nuclear option, they can call the vote and they can have no further discussion. So essentially it kills all of the proposed amendments, and they vote on the bill as it is, as it sits. And that's what ultimately happened. And so all of the amendments that were submitted were pushed aside. They voted for the original rules package. And of course, with Democrat support, they were able to get that through. Now, in that rules package, they had that there would be no Democrat chairs, which is, that's a big source of tension. And so they did that. And every single one of them has already been bragging that they ended the Democrat chairmanships. However, what they won't tell you is that they may, in that rules package requires each vice chair to be a Democrat. And they have increased the authority of the vice chairs. So essentially, instead of having a vice chair, you now have a co-chair. And then in addition to that, they have all of these subcommittees that can also uh, be chaired by Democrats, and so and they shrunk the number of committees. So many of these, what used to be committees, are now going to be subcommittees, which can be chaired by a Democrat. So when your representative is telling you that they got rid of Democrat chairs, they're liars. I mean, it is definitely disingenuous at best. It is a half truth and a partial lie, because they didn't do that. And so the Democrats actually came out and had a press conference and talked about what a victory it was with this rules package that they got. So they are already, um, celebrating what had happened. And so you're seeing a very unsavory relationship of the swamp down there. And whether you're a Democrat or whether you're a Republican, this should bother you, because this is a very unsavory relationship. Now, unfortunately, um, David Spiller was one of the 25 who signed on to this nuclear option. Now, this is after he uh, told all of his citizens that he represents that he was supporting David Cook and was supporting the reform. He became part of what was called the Reform Caucus. And so, unfortunately, he abandoned all of that whenever his ability or his status in the Austin swamp was in question. And I figured that he would do this eventually. I didn't figure it would be this fast, and I didn't figure it would be this blatant. And I've already seen where he is out bragging that he did not support them chairs, which again is a half truth at best. Um, and so that disappoints me. I'm not here telling you that I'm going to run against David. That's still a decision that I am not going to make until after the session's over, for sure. But I am telling you that I'm disappointed in him and I'm disappointed in others. And, one of the things that has just become more and more apparent over the last 5 or 6 years is that simply voting every 2 to 4 years is not enough. We have to do more. We have to get more involved, um, because we have to save this state and this nation. And so, thank you all for listening to me. I know isn't the greatest environment for this, but this is something that I felt that I needed to share with you this morning. It was something that was weighing on my mind. So, God bless you and God bless Texas.